includes £60 of bacon, £50 of lettuce, £50 of sliced onions, £40 of pickles and cheese. That's the latest. I'm Kevin Go.
The Jazz FM Money Minute.
Well, a bad day for the stock market with the FTSE 1.5% down. What's the reason behind the fall? Here's James Hughes from the trading floor of Alpari.
Markets are looking fairly uncertain, and what we've had is a raft of rather negative economic data, not just in the UK but in the US as well. We had poor retail sales numbers out of the UK. We saw construction sector contracts that have been cut. We've got the Eurozone and Mario Draghi speaking this week on Thursday at the rate decision. And also in the US we saw manufacturing growth slow up as well, and of course we've had President Obama and Mitt Romney fighting out, and there's election time coming up soon. So there's a lot of uncertainty in these markets at the moment that just won't go away.
Meanwhile, Travelodge is to ask its landlords to back a controversial rescue plan as it battles to overcome a crippling debt burden, while the proportion of shops lying empty has increased in every region in Britain bar London, according to figures compiled by the local data company. An average of nearly 15% of shops now remain empty across Britain. The FTSE closed 86 points down at 5,672. I'm Johnny Hart.
The Jazz FM Money Minute. Jazz Travels with Robbie Vincent on Jazz FM in partnership with Virgin Holidays Cruises. Skip the queues when you embark with our dedicated check-in and our VIP lounge.
Jazz FM, listening colour.
Robbie Vincent, Jazz Travels means good music and it means travel too. That's from the Montreux Jazz Festival in the 1970s, a version of Pick Up the Pieces. Just listen to the lineup. I mean, apart from the Average White Band and, of course, my guest Hamish Stewart, we had Joe Farrell, Sonny Fortune, we had Arif Mardin. He did the whole arrangement of this extra long version. Herbie Mann, Richard T., Jim Mullen played on it, Dick Morrissey played on it, Michael Brecker of the Brecker Brothers and Randy Brecker too, and trumpet soloist as Don Ellis. Gives you some idea of the power of that lineup, and it was part of the Atlantic family live at Montreux. Now we're reaching the stage where the Average White Band disband, stop playing together. Hamish, your connections with Arif Mardin, did they help you with your songwriting?
Well, Arif was very encouraging and helpful with the songwriting. He just he pushed you to do better in the kind of nicest possible way. It almost kind of, you didn't know it was happening. But a lot of good stuff came out of that period, and I started to get serious about writing. Yeah.
Because you lived in Los Angeles.
Not at that time. We were all in New York. Roger was living on the West Coast when we weren't touring, but we plumped for New York. That's I guess because Atlantic was there and Arif was there, and we felt more comfortable in New York than LA, I think. Although we travelled to LA a lot and we recorded there, and we had amazing shows there, but New York was it.
Jim Mullen, an old mucker of yours, said just how excited and how exciting New York was. And the Average White Band were the Morrissey and Mullen backing band, weren't they?
Yeah. At that time, when Jim and Dick came over, there was supposed to be a rhythm section for them. It didn't happen, so we wound up saying, okay, we'll do it. And having said that, they pretty quickly, once they started to play live, they found a great little rhythm section, young players like Steve Jordan and Cliff Carter, and they started playing a place called Mikkel's, which was a great hangout up in 97th and Columbus, where stuff played every Thursday, Cornell Dupree and Eric Gale, Steve Gadd, all those guys. And Jim and Dick got themselves a residency there, and they were immediately accepted into that New York thing. The Breckers would come and sit in, George Benson, it was great to see it happening. They were totally respected. And actually, when Dick passed away, and Jim and I put together the Morrissey Mullen collection, I called up Mike Brecker, who was still with us at the time as well, and said, look, I knew that he was close to Dick and he loved his playing. I said, can you give us something, a little quote? And he emailed me a quote back the next morning, and a really good one too, that really said it all about Dick, I think. So they were totally accepted in that New York thing.
And were you a pal of Jim Mullen before New York, or did you become...
We went to different schools together.
Scottish logic, by the way. We went to different schools together.
No, Jim and I never met until we got to London. We both were at the Locarno Ballroom in Sucky Hall Street in Glasgow in 1967 when the Stax Vault Review played there, but we never met. We didn't meet until about 1970 in the Speakeasy one night. This big guy in an Afghan coat and lots of hair came over and said, hello. I said, oh, you're Jim.
He speaks very fondly of you, I have to say.
Oh, hey, I love Jim. Jim's a great musician and an inspiration to many, many players. If he only knew how many young players he has the respect of. I guess that when Jim and Dick had their band, there was a kind of a great pool of players came through it. It was kind of like a little bit of a music school in a way.
That's Busted Fender from Morrissey and Mullen's album Up, and that's the album produced by the Average White Band. The executive producer was Herbie Mann, but the Average White Band not only produced it with Herbie Mann, but they played on it as well. Robbie Vincent, Jazz Travels. Our guest is Hamish Stewart. What about some of your writing? Chaka Khan. Now, how did you come to work with Chaka Khan, and what did you make of her?
Well, we were contemporaries to begin with, and we met in Los Angeles, and we'd go down to, they'd be recording in the record plant or something like that, and say, come on down, and again, it was that acceptance that we had, it was great. Shaka and the guys, and I got to know our manager, Jack, and we recorded What You're Gonna Do For Me. Shaka came and sang on the demo, because I just wanted to play guitar on it, because I'd written it on piano and I wasn't sure how it was going to all turn out. So she came, she sang, we recorded it at Sunset Sound in LA. She sang the demo, and our manager, Jack, really loved the song, and Arif did too. So when about a year later, we went to Switzerland to do Shaka's record, Jack said, what about Watch It? I hope you're going to do that. So that's basically the name of that tune, as you say. And it was a great version too. It was a great track. David Williams on guitar and Anthony Jackson on bass, Steve Ferroni on drums. Great fun. Those were really fun sessions. David Williams was a wonderful guy to play with in a two-guitar situation.
Working with Chaka Khan, did you find her easy to work with? And did she do that demo under the Old Pals Act? Did it wasn't a session?
No, yeah, it wasn't a session. She just came along and sang the song when we recorded the track.
Quite handy to do demos.
Yeah, she was great. I did 4 albums with her, and I had a great time in the studio. And she was with Arif there as well. He really had the reins, and she respected him immensely, and they had a great creative thing going on between the two of them, given Shaka's love of jazz and Arif coming from that, frustrated bebop piano player.
Yes, he does. He tells the story of meeting Dizzy Gillespie in Istanbul, and he was really proud that because Dizzy Gillespie, I am told, was very generous with his time, and spent a little bit of time with Arif, giving him some tips, and of course he ended up at the Berklee College of Music, didn't he?
He was the first student on the Quincy Jones scholarship, which is really funny, because they were contemporaries, and they knew each other well, and they worked together and stuff. They're great.
Robbie Vincent, Jazz Travels. We'll be back with some Chaka Khan after the break.
Jazz Travels on Jazz FM, in partnership with Virgin Holidays Cruises, where they can organise your travel to and from the airport in a chauffeur-driven car. Just another way Rockstar Service gives you more.
Jazz FM.
With the latest traffic and travel news when you need it, 7 days a week.
I'm Simon Sedby with the latest Jazz FM traffic and travel. The northbound side of the M5 in Somerset has an exits that road push blocks at the moment. It's at junction 25 at Taunton. Approach that with care. North on the M1 through Bedfordshire, traffic slow because of a vehicle that's broken down at junction 13 Bedford, and Milton Keynes turn through to Flitwick at 12. Roadworks are also in place, and that's adding to delays. All the lanes though have now reopened. North on the M6 you'll find the lanes closed because of an accident. Traffic queuing for around 11 miles. It was a van and at least 2 cars involved in that accident from the All interchange at 26 to Standish at 27, with queues back to 21A at the Croft interchange, meeting with the M62. If you spot any problems, call in if it's safe and legal for you to do so. 0500 59 27 27.
Jazz FM. Listening colour.
Did you know you could be saving fuel every time you stop at a red light.
Save fuel whenever you stop. Start-stop technology from Volkswagen. Available across the range. For more information, visit volkswagen.co.uk. Excludes Phaeton.
Jazz FM.
And now, a postcard from Virgin Holidays Cruises on Jazz Travels, with one of the many great trips you can experience with a team who bring you more with Rockstar Service, where you can combine brilliant land-based stays with ultimate nautical adventures. Western Mediterranean.
It's a treasure trove of natural beauty, ancient splendour and glorious beaches. A cruise to this diverse region means every time you spend time in the Mediterranean, you'll experience something different. In the Western Mediterranean, Virgin Holidays Cruises offer you the traditional European stop-off points. There's Barcelona and Valencia in Spain, the beautiful Cannes on the French Riviera along with Marseille, and opportunities to visit Florence and Pisa when you dock at Livorno or Rome via Civitavecchia. And when on board, you'll also find many ways to enjoy your time at sea. From swimming in the deck-top pool, catching a movie, or indulging yourself in the spa. Not forgetting Virgin Holidays Cruises' exclusive Rockstar service, which includes priority check-in and a complimentary dinner for two in one of the fine dining restaurants thrown in.
To find out more about the amazing cruise holidays available from Virgin Holidays Cruises and how Rockstar Service gives you more, go to the Virgin Holidays Cruises website. Details can be found at jazzfm.com.
Attention, we've just taken 25% off the Skoda Octavia SE Connect, a saving of £4,660. To put that into perspective, out of the 88 Scout badges, that would give you 22 free, including circus skills and dragon boating. The Skoda Octavia SE Connect, with lots of attractive features including Bluetooth, is now just £13,990. Discount applies to RRP of vehicle, but hurry, limited availability. Retail customers only. Dragon boat badge requires backwards paddling. Full terms and conditions apply. Visit skoda.co.uk.
The DFS summer sale ends Sunday. So this weekend, don't just sit there. Come and get the sit-down you deserve. DFS. Making every day more comfortable.
Home. A single word that says warmth, security, and happiness. It's no different for your Honda car. Bring your Honda home to the people who know it best. Us, your local Honda dealer. If you need a service, repairs, tires, or even an MOT, we'll match any quote from any garage. That's the Honda Price Promise. And we'll pop the kettle on. Visit honda.co.uk/price promise. Terms and conditions apply.
Really early in the mornings are bad enough when you hear this. So why not hear this on your alarm clock instead and get up bright and early with me, Nick Pitts, for Early Morning Jazz. We're here to help you get out of bed when no one else wants to. Early Morning Jazz with me, Nick Pitts, from 4 a.m. until 6, Monday to Friday on Jazz FM.
This is Jazz FM.
Trying hard to defend
Robbie Vincent, Jazz Travels. That means blues and jazz and soul and lots of good travel too. My guest is Hamish Stewart, and he wrote What You Gonna Do For Me, that Chaka Khan track we've just heard, with Ned Doheny. I think we ought to look at the George Benson period, and we've mentioned, haven't we, several times, Arif Mardin, and you actually wrote a big Benson track with him, didn't you?
Yeah, that was just before the album started, and Reef had this track, and I just took it away and worked on it. That was it. It was very interesting. Reef never wrote anything that was straight ahead. It was very. It was interesting trying to find a way into it. Once I got my way into it, it was okay.
Are you suggesting it was musically intricate?
Yeah. That's. I think just about everything that Arif did was like that.
And I noticed that your mate Chaka Khan popped back to do backing vocals.
Yes. Well, Arif liked to keep everybody. If he was doing work, if he was producing a record, he'd like to pull in everybody who he'd been working with. I'd worked a lot with him, and I had so much fun just going and doing background vocals on George's things. One of the most fun sessions I ever had. There was two other singers, two other guys, and myself, and there's a track on that album called "Lady Love Me." And we had a great afternoon. They play it's on the radio quite often, and I'll always bathe in it a little bit because it was a fun session. It had about 3 key changes, and these guys were great to sing with. A guy called Bobby Floyd and Zach Sanders, 2 great New York session singers, and we just had a ball all afternoon.
Well, I'll tell you what, as a special treat, as it's 40 years ago, roughly, you were in LA with the Average White Band, a sort of celebratory. This is a request, all right? Fairly unusual, but we have a request from young Hamish Stewart. I'll let you bathe in Lady Love Me one more time.
You're asking me to say, living life without you, girl, he's alright. If you really want to know, I'd have to say it's dangerous to my mind. So before you turn and walk away, just let me love you one more time. Feel your heartbeat close to mine. Let me love you all the time. Better love me. Yes, I'm asking you to stay, remembering it used to be so right. If you're asking for the truth, I'd have to say I won't believe it's good now. So before you turn and walk away, just let me love you one more time. Feel your heartbeat close to mine. Lady, love
Jazz FM, that was George Benson, Lady Love You One More Time. Hamish Stewart Request. It's rather nice, actually, have a request like that. You took us on a lovely trip to Scotland last week, Hamish, so what about your favourite European capitals, for instance?
That's a tough one. Paris is amazing. I haven't spent any real time there in years. Rome is stunning. I took my parents there about 15 years ago, and we had like a few days that was just great. And I'd worked with some Italian musicians just prior to that, and I was wired to the restaurants. So we ate like there was no tomorrow. It was great. The great cities are the great cities. New York, in the States, Chicago, LA, and the other music cities, New Orleans, but Europe, Paris, Rome.
So anywhere else in Italy you would send us?
They don't consider themselves Italy, I don't think, but Sicily. I love Sicily. It's just extraordinary. The first time I went, I drove right across the island, and you see all the cultures that has been conquered about 6 or 7 times, whatever. Everybody from the Normans, the Moors. There's all kinds of culture. And the Greeks. There's Greek temples in the middle of the island. But some friends of mine were doing a cooking school down there in a little place in the west called Menfi, and I went down there to visit them, and they took me to a beach like a little cafe on the beach, and that's still some of the best food I've ever had in my life. This guy Vittorio, he's been cooking there since the 70s. Him and his wife have the place. It's right on the beach, and it's absolutely sensational. And I've sent people there, honeymoon couples, friends, and I've had letters of thank you. Just really, I mean, it's a great place. And there was a Times thing about 100 great places, hidden places, and they were asking celebrities and whoever, what their favourite place to go was, and they had Locatelli, the chef, on, and he said his favourite place to go was Vittorio's on the beach. Yes, okay, great. That's somebody else that knows about it. Tell everybody about it. It's great. That's a spot.
We thought that sounded so nice, we got ourselves a Sicilian expert. We'll be hearing from her in just a moment as we explore the island further.
Jazz Travels on Jazz FM, in partnership with Virgin Holidays Cruises. Skip the queues when you embark with our dedicated check-in and our VIP lounge. Just another way Rockstar Service gives you more.
Jazz FM.
With the latest traffic and travel news when you need it, 7 days a week.
I'm Simon Tenby with the latest Jazz FM traffic and travel. The northbound side of the M5 in Somerset has the exit slip road partially blocked off at Taunton at junction 25. It's all down to an accident. Approach that with care. The M271 through Hampshire lane's closed off because of a vehicle fire at junction 3 of the M27 at Southampton Docks, just on the roundabout at the junction. The M1 north through Bedfordshire, watch out for heavy traffic because of a vehicle that had broken down earlier from junction 13, the Bedford and Milton Keynes South turn. The queues are back to Flitwick at junction 12 through the roadworks, so the works adding to delays. All the lanes though have now reopened. And on the northbound side of the M6 around Manchester, traffic queuing for around 10 miles because of an accident earlier. Van and at least 2 cars involved, 26 at the All Interchange to 27 at Standish. 0500 59 27 27.
Jazz FM. Listening colour.
Did you know you could be saving fuel every time you stop in a traffic jam?
Save fuel whenever you stop. Start-stop technology from Volkswagen. Available across the range. For more information, visit volkswagen.co.uk. Excludes Phaeton.
Jazz FM.
Hello?
Oh, hi, darling. What are you doing at the moment?
Why?
I wonder what you were wearing.
I'm wearing dungarees. I'm defrosting the freezer.
Well, get yourself dressed up then, because I'm taking you out for a special dinner.
Oh, darling! Where?
Bruges, Antwerp, Ghent, Ostend, anywhere in Flanders. So to win a weekend for two to Flanders, go to www.visitflanders.co.uk/foodisparadise.
A cracked windscreen costs you time and money for a replacement, but Autoglass will repair most chips before they crack. We're trained to the highest standards, so you know you're in safe hands. That's why most insurers recommend us, so no need to call them first.
Call Autoglass directly on 0800 234 234 or visit autoglass.co.uk.
Autoglass repair. Autoglass replace.
Home. A single word that says warmth, security, and happiness. It's no different for your Honda car. Bring your Honda home to the people who know it best. Us, your local Honda dealer. If you need a service, repairs, tires, or even an MOT, we'll match any quote from any garage. That's the Honda Price Promise. And we'll pop the kettle on. Visit honda.co.uk/price promise. Terms and conditions apply.
As we get older, everyday activities like walking up the stairs or reaching to change a light bulb can get trickier and trickier until it may be easier to just stop doing them. But that doesn't have to happen. Age UK has tips on the small changes you can make at home today to stay independent tomorrow, as well as offering advice on staying in your own home long into the future. For your free guide, call 0800 587 0668 or download it from ageuk.org.uk. Age UK, improving later life. Age UK is a registered charity.
We'd like to take a moment to introduce you to the BMW 1 Series Efficient Dynamics, the first BMW that's designed to be ignored. Efficient Dynamics combines exhilarating performance with our best fuel economy yet. So efficient, in fact, that it's ignored by the DVLA when it comes to road tax. But what's hard to ignore is the perfectly engineered price. Find out more about BMW economics. Book a test drive at bmw.co.uk or text BMW to 61100.
Jazz FM. Listen in colour.
Robbie Vincent Jazz Travels, Benny King and the Average White Band together star in the ghetto. Hamish, our guest from the Average White Band, really excited about Sicily, so we thought it would be a good idea to explore the island a little more. And our guest is Rosella Bogier, who with her husband Hugh set up Think Sicily 10 years ago. She is Sicilian. She comes from the capital Palermo. She's here to tell us more.
Palermo is an interesting melting pot because it's got so many conquerors and different civilizations, and you get an amazing mix of Baroque churches and Norman cathedral. It's on the sea. It's not too different from Barcelona geographically, and it's got an amazing sea. You can take hydrofoil or a sailing boat and go to the islands, and beautiful beaches around, and really lots to see, and amazing restaurants and a lot of life. It's a big city. It's 1 million people, so it's got the university and everything you need.
So what do Rosella's clients think about the island?
The things that they really enjoy most is, everybody say the food is fantastic. Food and wine, they really enjoy sampling the wine and going to the wineries. And then they're really impressed by the people, because you can have a really intense and authentic experience culturally, because as long as you get off the beaten track, which is very few towns, then you really don't see any other tourists around, so you can meet the local people, and people love meeting foreigners, and they're really happy to help. And sandy beaches, even in August, our client said, I didn't imagine that you could find such a beautiful, amazing sandy beach empty, totally deserted in August, which is true. And what else? The amazing variety of architecture and geographically, because you got from the 3,300 meters of Mount Etna, the highest volcanoes in Europe, still active, and you can see the eruptions. You can walk up there or take a 4x4, then go down, go on a sailing boat, go swimming, Greek temples, Norman cathedrals again. And the other thing is that we got lots of families that go on holidays in Sicily, and they all like it because there's a bit for everybody.
And what about the famous Mount Etna volcano?
Well, Sicily is a big island, so when Etna erupts, you can obviously, you see it and you feel it and you have the sense of it on the slopes of Mount Etna, so on all the little towns there, and Taormina and Catania. But as soon as you go on the other side, so Western Sicily, you don't know about it unless you are watching the news and listening to the radio. On that side, yes, you do see it, and it's quite fun when there's eruptions, so you see the ashes all over the place, and it has influenced the architecture as well. In fact, all the little towns on Mount Etna are built with black lava stones, and they're very peculiar and interesting to see. Mount Etna is a fairly safe volcano because it keeps erupting from time to time. It's well monitored. It's not an explosive one. So, when the lava starts coming out, as long as you don't go there and you move far away, you're safe. We got a couple of houses on Mount Etna, actually, obviously, on the safe bit. And we've had clients and some journalists as well staying there during the eruptions. And they said there was the most impressive thing, at night you look up and you see the lava coming down. And that's the same on the Aeolian Islands, looking at Stromboli and the lava coming down, red lava over the blue sky, and the sea is just amazing.
So what about the beaches of Sicily, we wondered? There must be some hidden gems.
Yes, there are several of those, in fact, because the only places which are fairly well known to tourists are Taormina, which is still beautiful and gorgeous to see. It's like going to the Amalfi Coast and not visiting Capri, or Cefalù, or Palermo. But outside those, you got all the little towns in the mountains, like the Madonie Mountains, which is a natural reserve, and you find these medieval little towns with really nobody around, just the old people walking around the street, very peaceful, a few shops, really good bakeries, and really good meat to buy. And then you got all the long, never-ending sandy beaches in the south coast with sandy dunes and the flowers, wild flowers on it, and the sea is really beautiful and amazing. It's not fancy. I mean, you don't find amazing lidos or sushi on the beach or Thai massage, but you find miles and miles of very fine sand, and that's really great.
Our Jazz Travels guest, Hamish Stewart, told us about a fabulous restaurant, well, he says it's fabulous anyway, called Vittoria's. We thought we ought to ask Rosella a little bit more about the town of Menfi, where the restaurant is.
Yes, that area is really unknown to most of the people. A few more open-minded people from Milan, northern Italy, had started slowly investing there. This area is really rich in excellent vines and there's a couple of really good wineries. Planeta is one, and they also set a little resort there with their own restaurant, and there are a couple of really good restaurants on the beach, really excellent. Vittorio is fantastic. There's another one in Selinunte. It's got the most amazing archaeological sites, really, because there's a huge temple and a couple of other amazing things to visit right on the beach, which is a great day out. All year round, there's a little train that takes you amongst the valley, and so the ideal day out that we've done so many times with friends is you go there, you visit the temples in the morning, and if you go with kids, they're just so happy because they can run around, and there's nothing like having to queue to see the Parthenon in Greece. It's just very few people around, and then you go and sit and have lobster at the beach, or pasta with kotze or vongole, fresh fish, and then you can keep talking and having your wine, and the kids play on the beach in front of you, and you go for a swim, and that's great, or for wine tasting in the afternoon. So it's a really nice area.
Our thanks to Rosella, her and husband Hugh. You can find them at thinksicily.com, and you might even want to hire yourself a nice villa. We've some more from that Average White Band produced Up album. This is Morrissey and Mullen, Jim Mullen and the late Dick Morrissey, with Everything Must Change. Morrissey and Mullen, Everything Must Change, from their Up album, produced by the Average White Band. Now, before we end the programme, there's a chance, thanks to Virgin Holiday Cruises, for you to experience a trip of a lifetime with a 14-night Mexico stay and Caribbean cruise. This fantastic holiday is exclusive to Virgin Holiday Cruises in the UK. Fly Virgin Atlantic to Mexico and stay 6 nights in Riviera Maya, one of Mexico's most exciting regions. Discover ancient temples, exotic jungles, and an endless coastline of stunning white beaches. beaches. Then jump on board the Norwegian Star for an impressive itinerary around some of the most beautiful ports in the Caribbean. Flying from Gatwick, there's free access to our exclusive V-Room Airport Lounge, so you can start your holiday in style. To win this amazing holiday with Virgin Holiday Cruises, go online to jazzfm.com. Virgin Holiday Cruises, where rockstar service is all part of the experience with Jazz FM. And next week we have more from Hamish Stewart. We're going to go drinking wine in Kent. Does that sound good to you? Well, I'll tell you what sounds good to me. Dinner Jazz. That's next here on Jazz FM with Helen Mayhew.
This is the one we've been waiting for. Who will triumph? We're